Begin with the breaking news on Syria tonight. President Trump ordered U.S. forces to attack a Syrian airbase.
Yeah, so here's the very latest today. That base is outside of Homs. That's where the Pentagon says Syrian warplanes took off to carry out Tuesday's chemical attack against a village in Syria. Now, KCAL9's Dave Bryan joins us now with new video, new information, and the latest reaction. Dave, I know that you've been following this from the very beginning.
Yeah, and of course the president indicated that he was deeply disturbed by this attack, and tonight we found out how disturbed he was. President Trump moving quickly and approving a cruise missile strike on Syria. The White House says the attack was intended to warn Syria's leaders about using any more chemical weapons on their own people. Syrian TV tonight is reporting there are casualties at the base. Tonight, CNN is reporting Russians were there too. Russia is Syria's closest ally. Now, the Pentagon just released this video of the attack. You are looking at cruise missiles launching from 2 destroyers in the Mediterranean Sea. They launched a total of nearly 60 missiles. Each has a 1,000-pound warhead. The attack happened just before 6 p.m. our time and targeted the base's aircraft hangars, ammo bunkers, air defense systems, and radars. The attack comes just 48 hours after Syrian planes dropped chemical weapons on a remote village held by rebels. 100 people, including dozens of children, civilians, died in the attack, brought strong condemnation from nations around the world. The Turkish government reported tonight their tests show the victims died from sarin nerve gas, which is banned by international law. Tonight, President Trump announced the attack in a brief national television address.
Syrian dictator Bashar al-Assad launched a horrible chemical weapons attack on innocent civilians. Using a deadly nerve agent, Assad choked out the lives of helpless men, women, and children. It was a slow and brutal death for so many. Even beautiful babies were cruelly murdered in this very barbaric attack. No child of God should ever suffer such horror. Tonight I ordered a targeted military strike on the airfield in Syria from where the chemical attack was launched. It is in this vital national security interest of the United States to prevent and deter the spread and use of deadly chemical weapons. There can be no dispute that Syria used banned chemical weapons, violated its obligations under the Chemical Weapons Convention, and ignored the urging of the UN Security Council. Years of previous attempts at changing Assad's behavior have all failed, and failed very dramatically. As a result, the refugee crisis continues to deepen, and the region continues to destabilize, threatening the United States and its allies. Tonight I call on all civilized nations to join us in seeking to end the slaughter and bloodshed in Syria, and also to end terrorism of all kinds and all types. We ask for God's wisdom as we face the challenge of our very troubled world. We pray for the lives of the wounded and for the souls of those who have passed. And we hope that as long as America stands for justice, then peace and harmony will, in the end, prevail. Good night, and God bless America and the entire world. Thank you.
Now, the attack represents a dramatic change of heart for President Trump and Secretary of State Rex Tillerson, and a big change already tonight in U.S. engagement in Syria. Before the Thursday night missile attack on the Syrian Air Force Base, Secretary of State Rex Tillerson said there is an effort underway to remove Syrian President Bashar al-Assad.
Assad's role in the future is uncertain, clearly, and with the acts that he has taken, it would seem that there would be no role for him to govern the Syrian people.
That doesn't mean the missile attack is part of the campaign to get rid of Assad. But Tillerson's reversal from just last week is dramatic. Last week he indicated the U.S. would not force Assad to leave power.
Longer-term status of President Assad will be decided by the Syrian people.
That was also then candidate Donald Trump's position during the campaign.
But if they ever did overthrow Assad, you might end up with as bad as Assad is, and he's a bad guy. But you may very well end up with worse than Assad.
But he said yesterday the horrific images of small children choking on poisonous nerve gas changed his mind.
It crossed a lot of lines for me.
In the aftermath of tonight's attack, there's a long trail of questions left behind. Is this a one-time retaliatory strike or the beginning of a more muscular U.S. engagement in the Syrian civil war? A war that has killed 400,000 people in 6 years and driven almost 5 million people from Syria to other countries around the world, including the U.S. And how will it affect the U.S. relationship with Russia and President Putin, the biggest booster of Syrian President Bashar al-Assad? The Russians have an airbase in Syria from which they've launched frequent aerial attacks on Assad's enemy. Now with the U.S. missile attack, how will that play out? Jeff, back to you.